The management of the Alpha Lotto Limited has debunked the statement purported to have been issued by the Public Relations Unit of the National Lottery Authority (NLA), published on some online media platforms on February 13, 2021, to the effect that the only operational and functional official short code of the National Lottery Authority is 959 and that any other platform operating digital was fraudulent and illegal. The legal consultant of the Alpha Lotto Limited, Dr. Atukondia, indicated that the said publication was also repeated in the print media and captured on page 48 of the Daily Graphic on Monday, February 15, 2021, under the headline, "Do not patronize illegal digital shortcode." NLA warns public, as well as page 7 of the Guinean Times, and also published in the Crusading Guide, the Chronicle, the Guinean Publisher, Spring, Daily Statesman, the Herald, and the Guinean Observer. This was disclosed in a press conference at their office in Accra on Tuesday, February 16, 2021. Addressing the media, Dr. Atukondia said Alpha Lotto Limited's operation is fully compliant and is one of the 5 legally registered private lotto operators duly licensed to operate the Veterans Association of Ghana Lottery.
If, for any reason, your Director General's term of office is lapsing and you want to look good to be considered, it is not to sacrifice people you have given licenses to. We have paid money. Every operator sitting here has paid 1 million. 5 operators, 5 million from them. Outside 200,000 for the publicity of their names and the sensitization, which haven't happened. Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, under the new dispensation for Lotto, we have been banned from writing on pieces of paper because pieces of paper have been considered to be banker to banker, as you already know. Unlicensed, unorganized, not known operators. We are licensed. The license is to the effect that they have been licensed to operate 844 for the Veterans Association of Ghana. So where is the illegality and the fraudulent operation they are talking about? What they failed to put out was the fact that under the new dispensation, you operate lottery. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our country. We cannot use our positions in state offices to give wrong information to the public. Am I the one giving the license there? You can all see who is giving the license. He is the bona fide CEO, Chief Executive, Director General of National Lotteries. We have worked with them together to draft every word in the agreement. Why are we being betrayed as if we are common criminals trying to steal from some people? That is not what we are doing.
Dr. Atukondia further indicated that management of the Alpha Lotto Limited wishes to assure the Guinean public that its operations are legally sanctioned by the NLA under the VAG Act 844.
We want a situation where people seeking their self-interest will ride on the caravan of state to get their benefits at the expense of our people who are genuinely working hard every day to make ends meet and to create opportunity for Ghanaians. The long and short is that Alpha Lotto Limited is a duly licensed operator of VAG Lotto, that is the Veterans Association of Ghana Lottery, under Act 844, under the terms of their contract.
The National Tripartite Committee, NTC, on the COVID-19 pandemic has asked employers to create an enabling environment for physical distancing at workplaces. It said that must be done through well-demarcated intervals of at least 1 meter between spaces. This was in a communique issued in Accra after an emergency meeting held earlier this month to review guidelines on the fight against the COVID-19 at workplaces. The meeting, chaired by Mr. Ignatius Bafwewa, the Employment and Labour Relations Minister designate, agreed that as much as possible, all conferences, debates and meetings should be held virtually. The communiqué said employers must consider the introduction of appropriate shift systems for employees and allow those who could work from home to do so without compromising standards and productivity. It tasked unions and workers' associations to educate their members on the shared responsibility of promoting personal safety to avoid spread of the virus by wearing face masks and ensuring strict compliance with the other protocols at the workplace, homes and communities. The communiqué said employers and unions should also collaborate and cooperate at the enterprise level through social dialogue to deal with the impact of COVID-19 to ensure sustainability of their respective enterprises. It said all employers should provide and enforce the usage of personal protective equipment, PPE, and related facilities for the safety and health of workers in compliance with COVID-19 safety protocols. The communiqué urged workplaces to constitute safety committees to deal with issues concerning the disease. The communiqué said the Labour Department and the Department of Factories Inspectorate should constitute joint task forces to monitor compliance of COVID-19 safety protocols and guidelines during workplace inspections and report to the ministry on a fortnightly basis. It tasked metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to set up COVID-19 committees, intensify public education in markets, lorry parks and other public places. They should also enforce strict compliance with all protocols concerning the virus. It called for strict enforcement of the law on nose mask wearing in vehicles and restrictions on mass gatherings by the relevant authorities.
Ghana has pledged $50 million to a $1 billion anti-terrorism fund instituted by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to tackle the threat of terrorism in the West African sub-region. This was disclosed by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Monday when he addressed the 7th G5 Sahel Summit held in the Chadian capital of N'Djamena. The G5 Sahel Summit is an annual meeting of heads of states and governments of 5 Sahelian countries, namely Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and Niger. President Akufo-Addo, who attended the event in the capacity as the chairperson of ECOWAS, told the gathering that so far $500 million have been pledged by ECOWAS countries to fund the 2020-2024 terrorism plan of action.
In order to implement key priority actions identified in the plan, as initially stated, our commitment is to mobilize $1 billion United States dollars as the collective contribution of the 15 member states. I'm glad to inform you that despite the great financial difficulties faced by all our countries due to COVID-19, as at our last summit, held on the 23rd January 2021, a total of $500 million United States dollars had already been pledged by the UEMOA countries. Out of which $100 million United States dollars had been dispersed by them in 2019. The Federal Republic of Nigeria pledged $350 million United States dollars, out of which $100 million was dedicated for 2020. Out of this, $80 million was to be used directly by them in their fight against terrorism on their northern border, and $20 million was to go to the fund. Ghana, on her part, has pledged $50 million over the 5-year period, of which $10 million is destined for the fund, and $40 million for the domestic empowerment of her border security against potential terrorist incursions. Half of the $10 million, i.e. $5 million, has been paid by Ghana into the fund.
He said the objective of the plan of action was to stem the threat of terror and said ECOWAS was determined to make the region a safe haven for its citizens.
The ECOWAS plan of action against terrorism proposes an integrated, comprehensive, and multidimensional approach to counterterrorism, encompassing all security and development aspects. It aims at pooling member states' efforts building greater synergy of action between all initiatives, and collaborating with all partners involved in combating extremism. The priority objective of the plan is to contain rapidly the spread of terrorist attacks with a view to facilitate sustainable socio-economic development, thus creating the long-term condition for non-violence, peace and security in our region. I'd like to seize this opportunity to reaffirm to this august body the determination of the ECOWAS heads of state and government to implement successfully the plan of action. This is illustrated in our commitment to mobilize our own resources.
On maritime security in the sub-region, the ECOWAS chair and president of Ghana stated that the 2020-2024 plan of action fully integrates maritime security as the threat continues to exist.
While our attention is focused on addressing security challenges in the Sahel, let us be reminded that we also need to engage on the growing security menace to maritime safety and security in the Gulf of Guinea, where acts of piracy and destabilization are on a rapid increase. West Africa, Central Africa, and the Sahel depend largely on maritime transport for the importation and exportation of goods that contribute to economic activities and constitute important sources of revenue. The sustained growth of our economies require a safe and secure Gulf of Guinea. It is in that perspective that our 2020-2024 plan of action fully integrates maritime security as a key component of the strategy.
President Akufo-Addo used the occasion to call for collaboration and partnerships in the fight against the threat of terrorism as the only sure way of providing peace and security for Africa and its people.
It is my deep conviction that the successful implementation of the plan will require the strong partnership and involvement of the many stakeholders here gathered. I strongly believe that active collaboration is the cornerstone of the success of any initiative that is undertaken in the fight against terrorism. To that effect, I'd like to commend the strong commitment of the African Union in support of the fight against terrorism in the Sahel, as well as the stabilization of the Lake Chad Basin. We will continue to work closely with the African Union to ensure Sahel, Western and Lake Chad regions are free from all terrorist activities.
President Akufo-Addo, prior to the address at the summit, inspected a guard of honor by the Chadian military in his honor. The president has since returned home.